So welcome back. I kind of noticed one thing when I'm going through all of the videos that I have lined up, and I'll tell you right now, I have so many videos that I've produced, edited and posted to YouTube, ready to publish, and on a very good consistent schedule all the way into probably mid 2022. So for you guys who are subscribed, you'll continue hearing me do videos, but I will tell you, as of June 24th, I'm actually going to be in prison. So unfortunately, I won't be able to reply to comments, or if you contact me, there won't be much communication. All you can do is just watch my videos and pray that I am doing okay in prison, I guess. I originally wanted a social media manager, I guess, if you want to say it that way. A person who I trust, who could possibly upload content based on whatever way I can produce it, whether it's just, showing you letters from me or recording phone calls. But I really don't have anybody who's willing to do that. So if you're a fan and you are a person who knows social media, would like to be my social media manager, maybe I'll pay you $100 a year yes, not zero, but $100 a year, maybe, out of money that should be going to my commissary to be my social media manager. I may be hiring. So but otherwise, one thing I want to tell you, that maybe I feel like, looking through my videos, I don't think you guys really get a feel for me on the non-prison stuff, because I originally, when I created this channel, I did promise that I would try to also show you my other hobbies. And if you look through some of my original like content videos that I produced, they were on my fish keeping stuff, and I kind of dropped off on that mainly because I still have all the fish. It's just that I've been very troubled with thinking about how to take care of those fish when I'm in prison, and my family have been willing to take that on, but it makes me nervous because I love every single fish I have, but I can't, there's not much I can do. So but I have people who are going to help me, especially with my local fish organization. They are definitely going to be helping me to find new homes for these fish that I have in my house. So but I also had like other hobbies. I wish I had spent more time, because I was probably so obsessed about wanting to make sure that the gay and in jail and then gay in prison content was up, because that was like something that in my conversations with Lucky, like I feel like that was missing from YouTube, but I never, so I was like going full force to produce as much content about that, because maybe that's what people are looking for on YouTube, that that's kind of like unique, and that's something they haven't heard. But I've also been like kind of really blown away by TikTok. There's a lot of gay TikTokers who are posting their experience of being in jail or in prison. It's a lot more than on YouTube. So I've been fascinated by that, and that's why I created a TikTok account, which I actually have a lot more subscribers on TikTok than I do on YouTube. So if you want to check out my TikTok account, it's on my about page in my profile. If you click on my channel and then go to about, you'll see the link for my TikTok. But just to give you an idea of things that I thought I would have had time, and obviously the clock is ticking right now. I thought I had time to talk about other hobbies I had, and the thing that all my hobbies as a kid is now like big ass YouTube content. And if I wasn't going to prison, I would probably be like talking about these wonderful things in my hand. These are Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I literally this was my blood, or basically when I had money, this is where it went. And I actually even made one year, I think my best year, I made like $15,000 selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards, both in terms of wholesale boxes and also like singles and stuff like that. And I primarily like the anime, but I will say I also love the cards. Probably not because so much about playing the cards, but I just like having cards like side by side, and then you can like look at them, and the art is really great. And Yu-Gi-Oh has now like become such like a retro thing that's coming back now, and I even seen like girls being interested in Yu-Gi-Oh now, which I always wanted to be like a thing, because you know, it's always nicer to just not have to be in a room with like smelly guys who don't take a shower and just want to talk trash about their decks and stuff like that. That's like a stereotype, but it's true. It's disgusting. And having more girls, I think, would have made playing the card game in person a lot better. And I also felt uncomfortable ever being out in those places because people are racist, homophobic, sexist, who play the game, and I've never felt safe in those. And that's also a reason why I didn't go play with people in public. I have played in competitions, like regional competitions and statewide competitions, but I've never felt safe enough to disclose to people, even though I personally knew. The funny thing is, I knew Yu-Gi-Oh players who were gay because why? You found them on Grindr. That's the funniest part. You'd find them on Grindr, either they actually posted their picture, which was very rare, or they just give enough a description where you know who this person is. Like, and I remember one of the best players. I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't want to out them, because that's not fair. But this person was really the most flamboyantly gay person. He doesn't look it, I guess, if you want to call it that way, but he is so like, he has like the personality of a drag queen, but is like the number 2 at the time, the number 2 duelist. That'll give you a hint. And nowadays, he's almost like he's living out his dream as a gay person who doesn't say he's gay, but everything he does is in a very flamboyant kind of fashion. So I'm confused by him. But I remember the one time we were both at a competition. I was walking down the hall, you know, in this big convention center, and he locked eyes with me so quickly, because it was like the I know you're gay, like we look at each other like, you know, I know you're gay type of thing. And it was so funny. It was so funny because then it kind of just like verified for me, because he's never said he's gay on like social media or, you know, in any way that you know that he's gay. But the minute you see somebody and they give you that signal, like, oh, all right. Now, did I ever work up the courage to talk to this guy? No, because first off, he is at like number 2, and I'm like so far down the competition ladder, not even within remotely top 64. So, but I just found it funny. So I will tell you one of the things, obviously, before my addiction. Actually, this was my addiction. Let's just put it that way. This was my addiction. One of my addictions, I think I've already told you, is that I'm a shopaholic. So I love having things. And so like Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid was kind of how I got into like being an addict, I guess. Maybe in a good way or a bad way. I can't really tell right now. So, but in the midst of me being an addict for other reasons, It turns out I still had all my cards, and I have a lot of them. I actually packed away a play set of every single card I had from Legend of Blue Eyes all the way up to I think it was the second to last set before Zexal ended, I think. And I definitely don't have any Link monsters, so that should give you for sure an idea when I stopped having cards, was when Link monsters came out. But I was towards the very end of Pendulum monsters, I guess that would be. Is it Pendulum monsters? No, not. It's more than Pendulum monsters. It was when it was it Arc V was the season. So that was when they did like all the various types of dragons with like the fusion, synchro, and what was the last one? Exceed kinds. But then my biggest thing was during the Zexal era when there were number monsters. And my goal had been to collect every single number monster. But since I had stopped a pretty good, last couple of years because I was a serious addict for all the other bad reasons, I couldn't afford to buy cards anymore, or that wasn't really the focus of my money. My money went to all these other things. And so one of my big things was I knew eventually they would have every single number that existed, they were going to be turned into cards. And my biggest thing is I wanted to collect all 100 numbers, original 100 numbers, and I think the numbers 1 through 4 came out. So I guess this is something I can do as a total vintage thing when I got out of prison, is to collect the rest of the numbers, the number cards. I wanted to save these in a special box that would go in a safe that I've created, so that I would actually be able to make sure that these were safe. But literally, I as I said earlier, I have play sets of every other card that I've had that went into 6 giant boxes that are sealed tight so that they should be water resistant, like mold resistant, insect resistant, and I placed them in these utility bins so that they'll be as safe as possible. And those are one of the things that I told my brother that I was going to keep. I have clothes and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That's it. Everything else is up for grabs by anybody else who's going to take care of my estate, I guess, after I go to prison. But I firmly said I will keep my clothes and my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So other than that, so I have my numbers cards separately. I also have another box of cards that I had kind of like built a binder to separately hold them, so that they were just like kind of like theme decks or archetypes that I really liked, and I just pulled them off. But then I think I even did that because I knew I was going to go to prison. So these were kind of like select cards from sets, like all these different sets, spanning from the very beginning to when I stopped buying cards. Like I had all these themes that I like that I put into that binder that I then turned into a separate storage box that I was going to keep. I haven't figured out where to store it yet, but it's one of my favorite cards. But I'm showing you right now all of my number exceeds monsters. So for you guys who are Yu-Gi-Oh fans, this was probably making your balls sweat a little bit. But for all the normal people who come and check out my prison content. You're like, what the hell is going on? And I will tell you a secret now. I was told when I was initially thinking I was going to go to federal prison that somebody told me that they have magic cards in one of the low security facilities out in the West, which is not where I'm ending up, but they apparently allow magic cards as a hobby craft of some sort, and so people can buy packs of cards and they build their decks and they play as part of recreation. And these are like crazy ass gangsters, you know, RICO racketeering charges, guys who grew up with magic and like now gets to play in prison. I have not heard that they actually have Yu-Gi-Oh cards in prison, but I bet you if I could be the one to advocate why can't we have Yu-Gi-Oh at our prison, I would do that, even though it would probably cost like a ridiculous amount of money to own cards in prison, but I would if I could. So it's very funny, but it is a true story, right? That is true. There are magic decks and magic players in federal prison. So anyways, thought I'd share just one of my hobbies. I probably will make a couple more videos because this is kind of stuff that I wanted to share with you guys, so you didn't think that I was just this kind of cold-hearted criminal. I'm also a, you know, geeky criminal. So hopefully you like this video, and I'll post more just to catalog the last couple of days before I go to prison. So bye.